What up, familia? It's your boy, Juby the Tubi. Glad to be back. Hopefully, everything is working. No issues. I got my camera back. I got my overlay back. I'm excited about that, but I'm not too excited that the Knicks lose to the Grizzlies 118 to 114, held by J.A. Morant's explosion in the fourth quarter. That and much, much more. Lock in and stick around. Coming at you. What's up, Nick family? How you guys doing? Welcome to another one. I'm your boy, Juby the Tubi. And looks like my camera is back, but we might still be having some internet issues due to the weather. So I wanted to apologize in advance. Excuse me. But it's great to be back. Missed you guys. Crazy last couple of days, guys. I apologize for the audio and the camera that's been going on. I had my room redone, the ceiling. So your boy was limited, but you know how we do. The show must go on. Again, salute to you guys in the chat and who watched this later on replay. I'm your boy, Juby the Tubi, with Straight Talk Family above everything. In a moment, we're going to be joined by Zen Ray from Zen Ray Sports TV. The Knicks go down swinging last night, 118 to 114 to J.A. Morant and the Grizzlies. They held it tough, man. Julius Randle kept them close, R.J. Barrett, but in the end, J.A. Morant was just too much in that fourth quarter. The guy's a beast. The Knicks were tired. They were exhausted, shorthanded, as we know. But salute to them, big up to them for trying, sticking around, and making the most of it. Does that mean that we're out of the play-in tournament with last night's loss? Still 4.5 back. Still a chance. There's about 15 games left. It would have been nice because we would have gained a little bit of ground on Washington yesterday. But appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are staying safe. Happy Saturday. Again, I'm your boy, Juby the Tubi. And let's bring Zen Ray from Zen Ray Sports TV, who should be ready in a moment, and we can just listen in and see what his take in was on last night's game.
Looked tired, couldn't get important baskets. They had turnovers in that fourth quarter. We only scored 18 points in that fourth quarter. and they scored 31. We'll be on with Juby the Tubi, family above everything. It seems like he's on right now. So we'll switch over to Juby. So the Knicks looked like Juby, like they looked like they were here to play. That third quarter, scoring the 40 points was very impressive. We came up short, Juby. Welcome to Zen Ray Sports TV. Welcome, family above everything, New York Straight Sports Talk. Juby, it's nice having you once again on. Give me your take on last night's game.
They fought hard, Zenray. Thank you guys for having me on the show today. Appreciate you guys out in Zenray Sports TV. And again, I apologize about my camera the last few days, guys. But you see, I got everything back. Hopefully I sound a little bit better. But the Knicks fought hard. They played fantastic defense for 3.5 quarters. I want to say, but in the end, it was just too much. J.A. Morant in the fourth quarter. He just exploded and took over the game. That's really in a nutshell. If you didn't watch the game, the man is a bona fide athletic beast. And in that fourth quarter, I think he scored 18 of his 30. What do you have? 36 last night? 37.
He outdueled Julius 36 to 37.
Yeah, 18 of that was in that fourth quarter. We held him in check pretty much the whole entire night up until that fourth quarter where he just took over, and you can just see that man is the star, the leader of that team. He's the engine, that he's basically the captain of that ship, and played phenomenally. You can't take nothing away from him, and you can't take nothing away from the Knicks either, Zenry. I know we lost last night, but we're playing shorthanded as it is. Julius tried for us. He played an exceptional 3.5 quarters of basketball, maybe 4. He was playing a great game. RJ didn't have the touch, but still managed to have a lot of points. What's your take on last night's game? Where do you think the direction of this team is headed, and how do you think this loss is going to impact our playing chances up this upcoming season?
Well, if they play like this, the way they've been playing the last 3 or 4 games, last night you're playing the second best team in the NBA, a team who is, when they're on the run and they're running, I think they're like the second or third best fast break team in the NBA. And when you get them in that half court game, I think they're 25th, 26th in the league. So that's where you have to try to get them in that half court set. You saw it in the third quarter when we were getting our shots in and playing defense, and we had them in that half court set. They looked confused. They didn't know what to do. And the Knicks, Julius Randle and crew were muscling their way in that third quarter. I mean, we are physical then. And Jackson Jr. Jarrett Jackson Jr. just dominated down low with 5 block shots. He was a defensive specialist. RJ Barrett should know better. I mean, he wasn't having a good shooting night at all. The last couple of nights, he's been having a good shooting night, but he kept on persisting of going down low and doing his fadeaway. You don't think they watch film that's your bread and butter when you're not hitting from the outside? A couple of times he tried to do that, and Jarrett Jackson just swatted that away. And Barrett was just like couldn't do anything else basically in that game. I mean, he had in 40 minutes of play with 23 points, but he shot 9 from 25, and the night before he was shooting like 30% from the field as well. Not a very good shooting night for Barrett last night. He was 1 for 6 from 3-point range. If we would have had our normal Barrett and he was shooting well, we could probably pull out this victory. The turnovers, you hit it right in the head. The team was exhausted. They were tired. Remember, when you play with a unit like this and you're missing weapons like Cam Reddish, Quentin Grimes, you're missing Obi Toppin, you're missing Derrick Rose, it makes a big difference. And if you had a Derrick Rose in that fourth quarter to calm the troops down, that's where a point guard is needed to take control and bring direction to a team. I think we could have pulled this game out and probably won this game in the fourth quarter without even losing the lead. But unfortunately, not having that leadership of a Derrick Rose that we dearly, dearly miss, we'll lose a game like this. But I'm very upbeat in the way they're playing, the way Tom Thibodeau has them playing. I'm just a little disappointed in Sims not playing in more minutes. than the 6 minutes he has played, and Miles McBride only played 11 minutes. So that's my only kind of question. But I understand that he was there to win the game. I mean, you played Burks 35 minutes. Um, he shot okay. He did well. I mean, the whole team generally did well. They played hard, Juby. And Julius Randle, it seems like he is back in shape and he's taking this personal.
Yeah. Listen, we lost last night because a couple of key things. You nailed it. Turnovers was a big factor because we were exhausted. We got destroyed in points in the paint, 72-52. That's normally something that we dominate in that category, but that wasn't the case. And believe it or not, our defense wasn't that great last night. I know, we do, to each his own. We only lost by 4, and that's Memphis. They're a high-scoring team, but we really did not play defense, with the exception of that third quarter. And even in that third quarter, they scored 26 points on us. So the defense needs to be a little bit better. Was it bad, atrocious? No. I've seen them play a lot worse defense. I just need to think. I think they need to fix a couple of things that I saw yesterday. They didn't have that same explosive energy that I saw the last couple of games from them on the defensive side and on the offensive side. Yesterday, for some reason, I don't know if because it was Julius Randle that was on fire. They were playing more half court pace basketball. They weren't playing half court, but they were. It's kind of funny the way I'm saying it, but I didn't see them pushing up the ball like they were fast paced, running and gunning. They would still lose that battle to Memphis, because Memphis, that's what they thrive in, is running and gunning the ball. But like you said, I'm not angry that we lost this game. If we had Quentin Grimes, if we had Obi Toppin, if we had all these Derrick Rose, of course, I think it would have been a different outcome. Let's just learn from this. Let's move on. I think there's still 15 games left to play, if I'm not mistaken. And we're right now, I think 4.5 with last night's 5.
5. If you look at the loss column, it's 5.
We own tiebreakers. We own tiebreaker with Atlanta, though, and Washington, I believe.
Okay, Washington is behind Atlanta. I think who's in front of them?
Brooklyn.
No, Brooklyn's further up. They're in the 8th seed, but we'll figure that out. I mean, Jared Jackson had 5 block shots. He blocked shots, but the whole team collectively had 16 block shots.
Crazy.
Look, they came there to play, and they knew what Randall's game was all about. They knew what Barrett's game was all about. Both of them had their shots blocked, but they were persistent and playing tough, that bully ball, and they were just going down court. But the best down court player of that game was Ja. Ja Morant just kept on going downhill. He got his block shot a couple of times by Mitchell Robinson. His shot blocked a few times from Mitchell Robinson. And even got one from Randall blocked a couple of, at least one shot that I saw. But getting to Mitchell Robinson, he had 16 rebounds last night. If you don't sign this guy, and I think I was looking at what Robert Williams got. I think he got 4 years, $54 million. I think he's going to get about the same contract, if not more. And he's going to get paid because he played 36 minutes yesterday, and he looked fantastic in those 36 minutes. Obviously, he played 34 minutes. But Taj Gibson, he played okay. He tried to do his thing. I mean, Jericho Sims looked a little lost there, had a couple of turnovers. Just you're going to go that with the rookies. And I didn't think that Tom Thibodeau had patience last night. He wanted to win that game so bad. Knowing the lead he had, he wanted to put his experienced players there. Was that a good thing, bad thing? I don't know. But Thibodeau is here to win. I can respect that. I just think he should have given Jericho Sims more than 6 minutes. We know in those 6 minutes he kind of goofed it up a little bit, but it's a learning process. And Deuce McBride was having difficulties in those 11 minutes as well. Just Ja Morant. This team is quick and fast, up court tempo, just getting that fast break. But when it comes to the half court game, like I was mentioning before, they're 25th, 26th in the league. In the league when it comes to half court set. And that's where the Knicks got him in the third quarter. Now, when they're in that fast break mode, I think they're 2 or 3 in fast breaks in the league. If not number one, I have to look to the stats, but they're in the top 3, definitely in fast break points, and that's where the Knicks couldn't stop them at all. Juby, it was a valiant effort. I give him props. We can't be a Monday morning quarterback and criticize what could have done, what he could have done. I think Thibodeau tried to do this to win the game, and I understand there'll be times that Jericho Sims will play his 20 minutes, and Miles Bragg the same thing, but last night was not the time for it.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not crying. I'm not upset. I'm not pointing fingers. Losses come with this kind of in this game. You got to learn from them, move on. Normally I'll be sitting there and pointing fingers and saying what they could have done differently. Whose fault is it? Last night, to be honest, I didn't see any faults in coaching, in players. I just think they lost to the better team because Jay Morant is. Listen, to get props from one of the greats like Allen Iverson, when they ask about him and being compared to Allen Iverson said, listen, if you guys want to compare him to me, that's fine. I think he's a better athletic person than I ever was. So that's a compliment right there. I know that must have felt good for Jay Morant. He has a great career ahead of him for a long time. I like his swagger. I like his demeanor. And he shows that at a young age, that's his team. He's basically doing what we want for RJ Barrett. We want the Knicks to belong to RJ. And Memphis luckily doesn't have anybody fantastic, doesn't have a Robin. They don't need a Robin. They're all pretty much evened out and with Morant. So it works out for them. Now, the game that I will want to win is definitely tomorrow, Zenray. Tomorrow I want heads. We play the cross the river rivals. Kevin Durant got into a little argument dispute, but all fun and games with Joel Embiid the other night. So listen, it's going to be fun.
Brooklyn trashed.
By 20 something point, I think, or 30 points.
It was incredible. And the good thing about it, I don't think Kyrie Irving is playing on Sunday. I think that mandate was not officially lifted as of yet in New York in terms of the face of the COVID protocol.
Yeah,
so
he's still not allowed to play home games.
Yeah. So unless Ben Simmons plans to play Sunday, which is remaining to be seen, the Knicks should have an advantage. Well, we still have some injured players, but it believe me, when you have a point guard and Kyrie Irving not playing, it was always to your advantage to do something. And I think it's a winnable game. And I think that's a game we have to take, not only because they are crosstown rivals. It's just you need to win games now. There's 15 games remaining. There's 5 games out. You're still a shot in the dark, but you're still in striking distance. You have to play some heavy duty basketball. I think you have to win at least 10, 11 out of these 15 games to get into some kind of playing game, if not 10th or 9th. But it's a better outcome back when the Knicks lost to the Grizzlies 120-108 at the Garden February 2nd, where the Knicks looked, I mean, they didn't look good. That score is not as close as it was. The Knicks didn't play well that game. And look, the Grizzlies are the second best team record-wise in the NBA. It tells you why when you have a young, exciting team like this. This is where I want the Knicks to be at one time in the next couple of years. You just need to get that star player in the draft somehow, or even get one if you can. We're just missing a leader, like we always mention. I think not having Derrick Rose, a point guard who can kind of have direction on the team last night, kind of costs us the game, because I think the turnovers, if you have the right point guard delegating, because when you have Julius Randle bringing up the ball, or Burks, or you have even Barrett was bringing up the ball, it doesn't. You're gonna get turnovers because this is not what they normally do, and they just push to do it. Obviously, because you don't have a point guard. But Derrick Rose is a different type of breed player who's been there before and can calm the troops and bring this team to victory.
Yeah. And who do you put on Kevin Durant tomorrow? If you're Knicks management, you would normally say Quentin Grimes 100% will be guarding Kevin Durant and probably Alex Burke. But now that you have no Grimes, who do you put in?
Wow, he's 6'10", man. Who do we have that to have that, I think it would be probably RJ, the closest guy to him. He
Ooh.
could probably outmuscle him a little bit. Maybe a little bit of Julius, a little bit of Barrett. Um, and if you do that, if because you don't have Obi, they were bringing Dodge Gibson and then had Mitchell Robinson on the floor at the same time. I'll put a little Taj on him, even though because Taj is experienced, obviously. I mean, Durant will probably burn him here and there, but if you could muscle him away from the basket and not get easy hoops, that's the Knicks' chance. You have to use your muscle. Listen, when you have Taj, when you have Barrett, when you have Randall, and even you could throw Mitchell Robinson there, these guys are musclers who can push you away from the ball, push you away from your spots, your comfort zones. I think you're going to see a combination of a little bit of all. But that's yet to be seen yet who's going to be. But I think it's going to be more Barrett and a little bit of Julius. But I can see Barrett taking always the tough assignments defensively.
One thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting game. It's a matinee game, showtime. It's at 1 o'clock start time. So we're definitely going to be doing a post game after the game tomorrow afternoon. I'm pretty much excited. I hope we can come up with, even if it's the same energy that we came out with last night, because these Knicks are fun to watch. Like you said, McBride needs a little bit more minutes than Jericho Sims. 6 and 11. If you had the whole team on and that's the minutes they got, you would be okay with that. But because so many injuries are happening right now, you want these guys to get these minutes, and especially McBride. McBride needs all the minutes he can get. We don't know the future of Cam Reddish. Unfortunately, like I said, I know you said that he has one more year on his contract, but I'm hearing that Knicks management has a decision to make this summer, whether or not they're gonna keep his contract or if they want to move him. It's gonna be a tough one.
I may be wrong with my numbers, so I think Reddish has to be signed. I think Barrett. I think it's following year. I don't know why is it like that, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it's Barrett as well. Have to make a decision as well. But I think you're right. I think it's Cam Reddish. I think because I don't know reason why. I don't know numbers on it, so I'm not going to speculate. But I can tell you this much: Mitchell Robinson, which we're going to get on the subject again, had an additional 8 offensive rebounds, which puts him in the top 2, top 3 in the NBA, and puts him rebounding wise, I think in the top 3 as well as the best rebounding centers in the NBA. Another 8 offensive rebounds. He's just pushing people away from the basket with his physical body that he's developed over the summer. And this is a no-nonsense Mitchell Robinson. I look for great things with him. And I think that's a telling sign. If Rose gets here and we get to that playing game, it's going to be so important having Rose there, because that's going to be your legitimate only point guard you're going to have available besides Deuce, which he doesn't like to play due to inexperience. But having Deuce there for his defensive purposes, which he plays great defense, and you have Quentin Grimes back. Unfortunately, it seems that you're not going to have Cam Reddish due to his shoulder injury. So he's going to be out for, I think Juby was mentioning, 6 to 8 weeks. So it looks like he won't be here for the rest of the year.
He'll probably be on summer basketball, summer league. Hopefully, if I'm the Knicks, I would say, listen, we see you part of our future. We're gonna give you a 2-year deal. I hope he's not looking for the bag because he's young and he's gonna want to get paid.
He's gonna get 4 years. He's gonna get 4 years.
So we'll see. Another fun stat to throw at you guys. The last big man for the Knicks to ever have double-digit points and 16 rebounds and more than 2 assists was the former beast of the East, Patrick Ewing. So Mitchell Robinson joins. 1996 was the last time, ladies and gentlemen, where the Knicks center had 10 points, above 10 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 assists and 5 blocks. So salute to Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, he had 4 steals. It tells you he's getting more involved and his game is expanding. So I think the next evolution of seeing Mitch, you're going to see Mitch more involved in the offense, maybe taking more outside shots, maybe doing what Taj Gibson is doing. They leave him alone at the 3-point range. I'm going to bury you. Something I hear that he's working on as well, his shot. And also, let's not forget, you mentioned the double-double that Mitchell Robinson had. Julius Randle had a double-double last night easily. So the Knicks are on the right track. Julius seems like he's back in shape, okay? Mitchell Robinson is back in shape as well. The only thing you need to add is an experienced point guard, and that's what we really missed, especially in the fourth quarter. Derrick Rose. I hope he comes soon with the team. I'm hearing next 3 or 4 games for Quentin Grimes. So if we near that playing game, it's going to be very crucial to have him there with Quentin Grimes as well, to make the Knicks make a push for that playing game. So the Knicks were 42% from the field, 40% from the 3-point range. The Grizzlies were 44 from the three, 34 from the 3-point range, and free throws we were 28 for 37, 75%. They were 58% from the free throw line. That's where we were doing a lot of catching up. We were hitting that free throw line. We had 23 assists. They had 23 as well. They had 16 block shots. We only had 6, and all 6 were by Mitchell Robinson, or I think 5 was from Mitchell Robinson,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Julius Randle had 1. Turnovers. That's where we got killed in that fourth quarter. We had those 6 turnovers. We had 16. They had 10. And the fast break points, I'm surprised as close as it is. They had 17, we had 14. But the points in the paint, as you mentioned, 72 to 52. Um, that has to do with the fast break points, man. When this team is running up and down, you're gonna get a lot of attacks to the basket, and a lot of that time, when you have Mitchell Robinson out of position because he's trying to do so much. And then the interior perimeter defense, especially when you don't have Quickly and you don't have Deuce McBride there, it weakens it. And even with Deuce and Quickly, these guys are fast, quick, and just deadly when they're on that fast break. Their largest lead was 12. Our largest lead was 15. So the Knicks lose a tough game last night, 118 to 114. We look to be back after the Brooklyn game on Sunday against the Brooklyn Nets, and we'll be there in the afternoon doing the post game show. Juby, I don't know what else you want to add to the Knicks highlighted game last night.
Just like I said, man, as long as they come out with that same energy, same tenacity, same team orientated basketball, I think they'll be fine. These are different Knicks the last couple of games. A great product to watch. They're playing as one, and this is something we've been missing all season. So if they can keep playing like this, they're gonna win a lot more games than we want them, depending on which side of the room you stand on. If you want them to tank, you're not going to be too happy. If you want them to win, you're going to be happy because it looks like they're finally starting to get it together. And it only took them 80% of the season. So go figure.
No, I like what I see so far. I'd
Me
rather
too.
see these last 15 games, 16 games where they're going to play all out and you're going to get a lot of players involved. We're missing some key components to our team. And I look forward to be back in the rotation soon so we can make a push for that playing game. We're only 5 games out of the loss column. We still have a shot, and we still are going to be playing Atlanta. One more game, you saying?
One game Atlanta, one game Washington. 2 very, very important games because if you win those 2 games, and we own the tiebreaker, we could potentially sneak in. So we have to win. Those are 2 important games for us to win. Look out for them. Mark those on your calendar. I can't wait.
Well, and also the Lakers did us a favor last night. They beat the Washington
Wizards.
Wizards 122-109. So that was good news for us. So in that case, we'll be doing a lot of game watching, seeing what other teams do. Unfortunately, I think the Knicks are on the right track. If they would have done this early in the year, but Julius getting in shape and doing a lot of this stuff and getting these young players, more adapted to the team. I mean, a lot of things can be different, but at least the Knicks organization is aware of what flaws we have, and we get that fixed at the end of the year. But let's make that dive into the playing game and see what this team is all about and what this Knicks youth is all about, so we can evaluate this team better for next year. I look forward for the challenge, Juby. It was nice having you on. Any
Thank you,
last
bro.
departing words are on your end there, Juby?
Just go New York, go New York, go. And as always, family above everything. Stay safe, guys.
Thank you, Juby. And we lose the game last night once again, 118-114. I just want to say to all New Yorkers, everyone in New York, be safe out there. We have some kind of cyclone twister coming our way. So be safe, stay indoors. Our prayers to the Ukraine people in the Ukraine. We pray for you every day. New Yorkers, anybody around the world, never give up. Never give up, knowing that the best is yet to come. As long as you have love, peace, and gratitude. Juby, thanks again for being on. We'll
Peace, my
see you
brother.
tomorrow afternoon, and we'll go from there, Juby.
All right.
Zen
Thank
Ray
you,
out.
brother. Later,
Thank
brother.
you. Take care.
All right, guys. That was Zen Ray from Zen Ray Sports TV. My guy, he said it best, man. We're excited. We'll see what happens. Key dates, key calendar dates. We'll see what happens. Mark your calendar dates against the Atlanta, against the Wizards. But tomorrow we got Brooklyn. Brooklyn comes to town. Cross-time rivalries. And hopefully we can come out with a W. So as he said, we got a little cyclone. A lot of gusty winds tonight. If you're from New York, tri-state area, be safe out there. And I appreciate you guys stopping in and showing some love. I'm Juby the Tubi, reminding you guys that you don't have to be blood to be family. And as always, family above everything. Stay safe, guys. Peace.
We are the New York Knicks. 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 Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. We're back on track, here we come. We get some in 21 and the Knicks are on a run. And I'll tell you with Tibbs, we a bit too much to handle. With Barrett, Bullock, Burst, and Randall, it's the Knicks and we're taking back our place. Everyone's gearing up with a mask on the face. The guards going crazy and they're doing it for a reason. 21 is a Knickerbocker season. You better believe the Knicks got all that it takes. We shooting 3-pointers and we're running fast breaks. If your defense makes a mistake, then bam! Robbie dunks in your face. This is a team you don't wanna miss. We are New York. We are the New York Knicks.